Hi, and welcome to Gadget News and Review. We are home to some of the coolest gadgets, and the best consumer reviews online, buyer's guides and features. If you like our review, please subscribe for more upcoming reviews videos.
Samsung Galaxy Fold Review. After several months of delay, the new Samsung Galaxy Fold release date has been officially set for September 6th. Available initially in South Korea only, Samsung has confirmed that its first foldable phone will subsequently make its way to France, Germany, Singapore, the UK, US and more. The Samsung Galaxy Fold remains the most exciting smartphone of 2019 despite its recall and subsequent 5-month delay due to reliability issues. Whether all the issues have been ironed out remains to be seen. Keep an eye out for our full review, and Samsung will likely have to work on convincing consumers that the upgraded Galaxy Fold is worth the outlay. It means the Galaxy Fold will still be able to carry the distinction of being the world's first major foldable smartphone, beating the foldable Huawei Mate X to market. It's something radically new compared to the sameness expected from the iPhone 11. We were able to go hands-on with the original Samsung Galaxy Fold earlier this year, just before the issues cropped up, which means it's not the version that'll be on sale from September 6th. Our time with the Galaxy Fold, while extremely brief, was overall positive. The folding mechanism felt secure, the large 7.3-inch display looked great, and the fact that you could fold it in half and stick it in your pocket, just about, was certainly cool. It isn't without its more controversial points though. It is big and heavy, and there's a noticeable crease in the screen where the device folded. The new Samsung Galaxy Fold release date is confirmed for September 6th in South Korea. It had originally intended to launch the foldable phone on April 26th in the US and May 3rd in the UK and Europe. Samsung has said that after the South Korea availability it will bring the Galaxy Fold to France, Germany, Singapore and the UK on September 18th, although there's no word on a US release date just yet. As far as we know, the Samsung Galaxy Fold price is still $1,980, which makes it one of the most expensive smartphones you can buy, and pretty much matches the cost of the forthcoming foldable Huawei Mate X. The Samsung Galaxy Fold will come in 4G and 5G variants, with the latter packing a slightly smaller battery, but it's currently not clear which countries will get which variants, and what the price difference between the two models will be. Samsung believes the Galaxy Fold has the most intuitive form factor for a foldable phone, with the screen folding in on itself to provide protection, much like laptop. The company certainly hasn't taken the challenge of designing of its first foldable phone lightly. This is a phone that's been 10 years in the making and has gone through over 1,000 different prototypes. The book-like folding action does feel like a natural way to open the handset, and it's certainly easier to get to grips with than the Huawei Mate X. Huawei has taken the opposite design approach to Samsung, with the screen on the outside of its device when it's folded. Open up the Galaxy Fold fully to reveal the 7.3-inch display, and the 20-part, dual-axis hinge locks into place, preventing you from overextending the display past 180 degrees. Fold it back up and the phone snaps shut with a satisfying sound, giving you confidence that it won't accidentally unfurl itself in your bag. Samsung has spent a lot of time working on the dual-axis hinge, and it gives the device a tactile feel, with a smooth movement between its two states. It's been designed to withstand more than 200,000 folds and unfolds, which works out at 100 opens and shuts a day for 5 years, so it should last. It certainly feels sturdy, and capable of surviving repeated folding and unfolding, and a nice touch is the way the hinge disappears into the body of each half of the phone when it's fully opened. The fingerprint sensor is located on the right edge of the lower half of the device when it's closed, falling nicely under thumb or finger, and so it remains in that position when the phone is unfolded. The sensor also acts as a Bixby launch button when pressed, jumping you straight into Samsung's Smart Assistant. Above the digit reader there are power, lock and volume keys, also in easy-to-reach positions, while on the base of the Fold you'll find a USB-C port on one half of the bottom frame and a speaker on the other half. There is, however, no headphone jack. There are 2 speakers, the second one is on the top edge of the phone, providing stereo sound tuned by AKG and boasting Dolby Atmos support. As fun and futuristic as the Galaxy Fold design is, however, it's also big, bulky and heavy. The Fold measures 62.9 by 160.9 by 17 mm, making it double the thickness of most smartphones. That means it's not so easy to slide into pockets, especially if you're a fan of skinny jeans. It tips the scales at 269 grams. The updated Galaxy Fold has actually increased the weight to 276 grams, making it one of the heaviest devices on the market. For comparison, the Galaxy S10 Plus is 175 grams, the iPhone XS Max is 208 grams, and the Huawei Mate 20 Pro comes in at 189 grams. Originally, Samsung said the Galaxy Fold would be available in Space Silver, Cosmos Black, Martian Green and Astro Blue, but it appears the blue and green options have been dropped, at least for the initial rollout of the handset. In the hand, the Gorilla Glass 6 covered Galaxy Fold feels solid, but it doesn't quite have the same premium appeal as its S10 siblings, which present a classier finish in the palm. Another thing to note is that the Galaxy Fold is a huge fingerprint magnet. We were constantly wiping the handset down during our hands-on time, and the super reflective glass body shows up fingerprints clearly. The Samsung Galaxy Fold has two screens, with a 4.6-inch HD Plus Super AMOLED display on the front when the device is closed in phone mode, feeling a little small by today's standards, when most phones have screens which are at least 5 inches in size. It's made to feel smaller thanks to the sizable bezels above and below, reminiscent of phones from around 10 years ago. It's a trade-off that has to be made, as the tech has to fit somewhere, and the benefit of its diminutive size is that it can be easily used one-handed. In terms of aesthetics, though, it's far from pleasing to the eye. In a world where bezels are disappearing almost completely, the look here is a real blast from the past, and when you consider the asking price for the Samsung Galaxy Fold, some may argue that its appearance, at least in phone mode, doesn't quite match its premium price tag. The small display is bright and clear though, with Samsung's Super AMOLED panel providing plenty of color. You can easily navigate Android, and it's useful for checking notifications, reading messages and controlling music playback. The larger tablet display, which comes into play when the phone is opened, features an advanced composite polymer layer that's stuck to the body with a foldable adhesive, allowing the display to bend. It's also the thinnest display Samsung has ever made. According to Samsung, the screen boasts the world's best contrast ratio, and has excellent outdoor visibility. We only got hands-on with the Galaxy Fold indoors though, so you'll have to wait for our full review to find out if it can live up to that latter claim. However, there is one fairly major point to note about this display: the crease. If you look at the display at an angle, there's a noticeable crease running down the entire length of the screen in the middle, where it folds. It's not something that can be remedied or hidden, and you'll have to learn to live with it if you do opt to splash the cash on the Galaxy Fold. That said, the crease is much less noticeable when you're viewing the screen head-on. It's still there, though, and when we fired up Asphalt 8 for a quick race it disappeared from view as we focused on the game. We came first, naturally. Samsung says the crease won't get more pronounced over the time, so those fearing that it'll become more noticeable over time should be able to rest easy, although we'll only really know how it holds up a year or two down the line. There are various ways you can use the Samsung Galaxy Fold. When closed, the phone mode provides one-handed operation for tasks such as calls and music playback. The 4.6-inch display operates like that of a regular smartphone, so apps and games work as you'd expect, although with a bigger screen just a quick unfold away, working on the smaller screen can feel cramped. Open the device up into tablet mode, and the larger screen makes social media, messaging, web browsing, gaming and video editing much easier. Each time you transition from one screen to the other, compatible apps will follow your usage patterns for a seamless experience. For example, if you launch Google Maps in phone mode, and then open the Fold up, Google Maps will automatically be displayed on the big screen. Every app that comes pre-installed on the Galaxy Fold, including Google's suite of apps, WhatsApp and Microsoft Office, supports continuity between displays, and it'll be up to other developers to make their applications compatible. Samsung says it's easy to add the necessary functionality, as it doesn't require developers to redesign existing apps. They just need to add extra features, but we'll have to wait and see how widely it's adopted. It's also unclear how many apps will support the 4:3 aspect ratio of the Galaxy Fold's tablet mode display, as it's much squarer than the screens currently found on smartphones. There may be a bit of a wait while core apps build in support for this aspect ratio. You can also use 2 or 3 different apps side by side on the large display in multi-active window mode. Open up an app on the big screen, then slide your finger in from the middle of the right side to open up a panel of compatible multi-active window apps. Tap one and it'll gobble up half of the display, alongside the app that's already open. Perform the same action to bring up the app menu again, and tap a third choice, and this app will then take up a quarter of the display, below the second app, which is also reduced in size to 25%. You can then swap the positions of the apps by dragging and dropping them, and you can adjust the width of the apps by dragging the central division line from side to side. It all worked well during our time with the Galaxy Fold, with apps opening and resizing promptly, and we can see the benefits that being able to have multiple apps open on a large display will bring. Load up a game, Asphalt 8 in our case, on the big screen, and the Galaxy Fold will automatically rotate the app 90 degrees, forcing you to turn the device. There's a clever reason for this though, as it provides better orientation for the stereo speakers for an improved audio experience. The Samsung Galaxy Fold has been optimized with the Unity game engine, which means games which run on that platform will perform superbly here. There's more than enough power under the hood, with the Galaxy Fold packing a 7nm octa-core processor and 12GB of RAM. It means Android 9 coated in Samsung's One UI runs smoothly under finger, with apps opening swiftly. You also get 512GB of storage inside the Fold, providing plenty of space for apps, games, movies, music, photos and more, and for most that will be more than you'll ever use. For serious power users, though, it's worth noting that the Galaxy Fold doesn't offer any expandable storage, so you're stuck with that 512GB, unless you opt to send your data to the cloud. The Samsung Galaxy Fold comes with 6 cameras, yes, 6. The main trio are found on the rear of the device, with a 12MP main sensor f1.5 f2.4 OIS joined by a 12MP telephoto lens f2.4 OIS and a 16MP ultra-wide-angle lens f2.2. This is exactly the same setup as you'll find on the Samsung Galaxy S10 and Galaxy S10 Plus, so performance should be excellent, although we weren't able to test them out on the Galaxy Fold as it wasn't running final software. You get one 10MP f2.2 camera on the front of the Galaxy Fold, above the 4.6-inch display, for the odd gratuitous selfie or hastily arranged video conference, while opening up the device reveals 2 cameras in a notch which eats into the top right of the display. Within this notch, a 10MP camera, with the same specs as the selfie camera, is joined by an 8MP f1.9 depth sensing camera which provides the information for Samsung's background blur live focus mode. The benefits of having a large, 4:3 aspect ratio display when it comes to photography are clear. First up, you get a sizable live preview, giving you a clear indication of what your photo will look like before you hit the shutter button. Second, the 4:3 aspect ratio matches the aspect ratio of the cameras, and thus your final images, which means that what you see on screen is exactly what will show up in your camera roll, with the whole screen used and no black bars filling in wasted space. Turning to the battery, and the Samsung Galaxy Fold breaks with tradition again as it packs 2 power packs, one in each half. The 2 batteries combine to provide a total capacity of 4,380 mAh, which Samsung told that should provide all-day power, although that will be heavily dependent on how you use the handset. If you spend most of your time using the 7.3-inch tablet display, we expect the battery will drain much faster, but you'll have to wait for our in-depth review to find out just how it fares. The Galaxy Fold supports wireless charging, and it packs the same wireless PowerShare feature as the Galaxy S10 and S10 Plus, allowing you to charge other wireless charging compatible devices on the rear. It even has a small magnet by the charging coil to keep devices, such as the Galaxy Buds, in place, which should hopefully avoid them slipping off easily. The Samsung Galaxy Fold is an exciting entrant into the smartphone market, breaking the static rectangle mold that we've become accustomed to, and bringing us 2 displays, 2 batteries and 6 cameras. Sure, it's expensive, but the first generation of any new technology is, while people will point to its size, weight, screen crease and bezels around the smaller display as negative points, and for some, one or more of those may be deal breakers. However, the Galaxy Fold is more than a standalone handset. It, along with the Huawei Mate X, and others to come, ushers in an exciting new mobile form factor which will only be refined, improved and made more affordable over the next 12 to 18 months, and you'll have this phone to thank for that. It has had a major setback, and that shouldn't be overlooked. It's up to Samsung to regain consumer trust that the upgraded Galaxy Fold won't suffer the same issues as early review samples do. If you're considering picking up the Fold, you'll want to feel confident your sizable investment doesn't break down within weeks.